Hey, what's going on YouTube? Brian Brewer here, and I have a very special video for you today. Now, if you want to get more traffic, you want to grow on YouTube, you want to generate more leads for free, or you want to just simply make more money online, then this is going to be an incredible video for you. Because what we're going to do is we're going to bring on a very special guest, one of my friends. His name is Jamar. And what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about how you, as someone who's never been on YouTube or just getting started, how you can go from zero and grow your channel and hit your first 1,000 subscribers. Now, the best part about this video and what makes it a little bit different than most of the videos on YouTube that talk about growing on YouTube is this is not my insight based on my strategies that got me my first 1,000 subscribers in 2017. This is going to be the tips, tricks, insights, and tactics that work right now because Jamar just hit his 1,000 subscriber mark a couple of days ago. So this is going to be extremely relevant for anyone who's just getting started. So if you're a beginner or you're looking for traction on YouTube, make sure you watch this entire video because it's packed full of golden nuggets. We're going to talk about a multitude of different strategies and insights, and we're going to talk about how to stay motivated and what kind of editing software to use, and even how to leverage TikTok to not just get subscribers, but how to get buyers. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the interview. I'm really excited to share it with you. Let's jump into it right now. So let's talk about that since you kind of mentioned that everybody who gets started goes through the same process.
Yes.
You went through it. I went through it. It's the beginning. It's the worst. It flat out sucks, right?
Yep. It's the worst.
Can you tell, share your experience a little bit and how that went, how you felt when you had those, and how you stay motivated when you didn't have a lot of engagement?
If you don't mind, I'd like to start with my initial story, how I got into making money online and how I got into kind of like my origin story. So perfect. It really starts out by towards the end of 2018, 2019. I am a 17-year active duty Coast Guard lieutenant here, stationed in Houston, Texas. I love my job. I love what I do. I plan on retiring from the Coast Guard. And for the first time since 1790, we actually were not paid. And this was at the end, and I don't know if a lot of people know this, it was at the end of 2018, beginning of 2019. A budget was not passed. And we went like 2 or 3 paychecks, which is a lot, right? We get paid on the 1st and 15th. And I saw a lot of my subordinates really struggling, having to take out loans. I fortunately had a little bit of a safety net. I was able to carry it through, but I didn't have a second source of income. And that was kind of after 17 years, I was like, whoa, I don't have a second source of income coming in. I should probably figure this out. So I did what most people do. I went to YouTube and I said, how to make money online, right? So why did I choose make money online? It's because I didn't want to go out and get a second job, right? Military already takes a lot of my time away. I travel for work often, so I'm already away from my family a lot. I didn't want a second job. And for me, I wanted to find a way that I could still be present for my family, but still have that second income coming in, and making money online seemed like the way to go. So I searched the web. I actually found one of your videos. It was one of your your long tutorials, drop shipping video. And I said, you know what? I'm a pretty smart guy. I could probably figure this out. So I watched your video and then I set up a Shopify store. Long story short, it only lasted about 2 or 3 months. I spent almost as much money in ads as I did making money. And I realized that it really wasn't for me because it required a lot of effort. It did. And I didn't like the 30-day shipping times, and I didn't like dealing with customers. And I didn't like, honestly, I just didn't really like that particular business model. And so I quickly transitioned into starting to learn a lot more about affiliate marketing and automation and how to build a business online. And that's pretty much like, that's a little bit of my origin story. That's
I appreciate that. And
yeah,
first of all, thank you for your service with the military.
my
I
pleasure.
I certainly didn't know that you went a period because of budget. I don't say cuts, but budgets not being passed. And I mean, that's just crazy. First of all, that can happen to our military and the branches
It's
of,
in,
you know,
the Coast Guard. The Coast Guard was one of the ones affected, along with Customs and Border Patrol and all the organizations with Department of Homeland Security. So,
and yeah, I mean, it's just crazy to think about that. I mean, if that can happen at that level, then obviously it can happen to anyone at
absolutely, it can happen to
every
anyone.
level. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think that's kind of a common narrative. It's kind of like you see that, like, oh shoot, this could be real. We need to do something about this now. And like you said, luckily you had some padding there. But I think perhaps maybe that led to the success that you're seeing now is, yeah, there was a sign of things where, reasons why you might want to jump on the whole make money online thing. But I don't think maybe correct me if you're wrong. It wasn't that you were like acting out of desperation. Is that kind of fair to say, or?
No, I wasn't acting out of desperation. It was more or less looking for that additional safety net, if you want to call it that, or just an additional means, or if you want a side hustle or something on the side that if something were to happen to my job, or I mean, with the virus and the things that are going on right now, a lot of people are out there and they're struggling to pay bills because they're out of work. If they had that second income already established, then they wouldn't really have to stress as much, right? Their family, the income would be automated. They would already have that, that built-in safety net that no matter what happens, they always have that to take care of them, right? So,
yeah, and the best time to start is hopefully before you need it, right?
exactly. Yeah. And so I just kind of I just jumped on the fact that I have time to build something. I wasn't out of desperation, but I was more or less understanding that I have time to put the pieces in place that will allow me to be more financially secure, but also have, the support from a secondary or multiple secondary sources of income. As I found out, it's not just one stream of income. It can be 5, 10, 15. It's however many automation or products or whatever you're promoting. So
how many streams you build into the overall system. So obviously the main reason I wanted to bring you on this interview and this channel, introduce you to my audience and share your story, is because you just hit a pretty big milestone on YouTube. At least I think it's a big milestone. Tell us a little bit about that. And it happened, what, 4 or 5 days ago?
Yeah, just 4 or 5 days ago. I started my channel really uploading towards the end of June, early July of 2019. No expectations, zero. And in fact, I went into it thinking nobody's going to watch my content. It's very cringe. I didn't even know what kind of content to put out. And I just told myself, you know what, by this time next year, wouldn't it be cool if I had 1,000 subscribers? 1,000 people, that followed me, followed my story, followed my content, and that maybe the things that I was learning along the way, because I was, I was a consumer for a long time of information, and I thought that I had enough value that I could give back to people. So I started my channel with a bunch of randomness and some testing, trying to figure out what my niche was, what I wanted to do. And lo and behold, I hit my first goal of 500 subscribers by, I think it was by around Christmas time. And to me, that was a huge accomplishment. It told me that I was gaining traction. I don't have 500,000 subscribers, but 500 was a lot to me, because when you start out, nobody watches your stuff, right? It's hard to gain traction. But I set a goal at New Year's saying, you know what? I can reach 1,000, not only 1,000 by the July 1st, but I could actually reach 1,000 months before that, as long as I continue to try and upload videos with some kind of consistency. And we can speak about consistency later on in this video. But because consistency was a really, really hard thing for me, because I'm a real person. I have a lot of things going on, a job, a family, a virus, and things like that going on.
And that's
But
what I think is, if I mean, that's just kind of reiterate the point. Like, that's what I think is so cool about this is, you just hit 1,000 subscribers. That's a big deal. Imagine if those, I mean, on paper or on the internet or on that little box, it doesn't seem like a lot, but imagine if you had all 1,000 of those people in a room together, right? I mean, that's a lot
right,
of
it's
people.
insane. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
insane.
And
I'm
here's
just
the deal.
surprised. Yeah,
It's
I'm surprised
crazy.
that that many people actually follow my content. When you start out, you don't ever think anybody's going to watch anything you put out. I mean,
Right.
zero. And I think that's the best way to go about it, is to go in with zero expectations, but to just to try to put out as much value and content as you can, and people will eventually find you, and they'll like you for you, maybe not even necessarily your content, but they just like watching you, and they'll subscribe. And here I am. It took me 9 to 10 months, and I have 1,000 subscribers.
And in hindsight, kind of, is that the whole deal? Like, in the beginning, you don't think anybody's going to pay attention, but then they do. Is that the reason? Just kind of the relatability, you for you, as
Yeah.
you say, or?
Yeah, I think that relatability is key. As somebody who is coming in at the ground floor, I was, like I said, it was a consumer for a long time. Like the majority of people, they consume more, than anything that 99% of people consume. And then there's the 1% who actually go out and produce. And I thought to myself, I'm like, well, I've consumed a lot of information over the last 6 months, 9 months. And I think I can provide some people some value, my experiences when starting out, because there are a lot of hiccups along the way. Building a business online isn't easy. Anybody who says it's easy is lying. It requires a lot of work up front. It's the work that you don't see from a lot of the people who are successful or have larger channels. Maybe they don't speak to it as often as they should, but you don't see the years and years of grinding and the building that they did in the past. You just see, that big number at the underneath their video. You see the 100, 200, 300,000 subscribers, and you're like, wow, man, this guy, like, he's lucky, or where did he get all that information?
Right.
But it's accrued over time. So
I mean, you got to pay the price of entry. You got to earn your spot, and I think in the long run, it turns out to be worth it as long as you stick with it. So you mentioned that initially, kind of you did what most people do. Like how to make money online. You found drop shipping. That was probably the time, and stuff was.
It was hot. It was pretty hot at the time. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. 2018 was a pretty big year for people kind of jumping on that train.
Right. So, yeah, it was kind of hit the masses at that point. Yeah,
it did. Yeah.
And then you found out that you didn't really like it, and you said something that was really insightful in the sense that you just knew it wasn't for you. So you really didn't try to force it. It doesn't seem like you kind of shifted over to the affiliate marketing model because of the automation and certain things that are going to give you the time freedom. And, you mentioned the customer service and the negative aspects of that when you're doing other business. How has affiliate marketing been for you so far? And are you planning on continuing forward with the affiliate marketing model, even as your channel?
Affiliate marketing. So you have to be very disciplined. For most people, I would say 99% of people, it does take time to make your first commission. And the reason for that is because traffic, you may not have a good traffic source. You don't have, most of your market is cold. So they don't know you. People aren't going to purchase things from you if they don't trust, know, and like you, right? So I realized in the beginning that it was going to take a lot of time before. And I think I posted in one of your groups a while back last year where I made my first commission. It was like it was a get response, like a $4.95 commission, right? And $4 isn't life-changing, but to me, I was like, whoa, somebody clicked on my link, purchased the product because of something that I did, maybe was some value, or maybe I helped them in a Facebook group or whatever it may be. Somebody actually clicked on my link and I made a commission. So it proved to me that it was a model that I could continue doing. And as it's progressed on, it's really changed forms, because it went from kind of producing all different types of content to starting to narrow in my content, I think. And I also started narrowing in products that I promote. And the reason for that is you can't just promote all sorts of stuff and particularly like low ticket stuff. I mean, I've done tons of ClickBank stuff. I've made ClickBank commissions. I've also done just different softwares, and I've kind of jumped around. And when you jump around like that, it's hard to get really continuity because you don't have a lot of content around a particular product. If you just make one video about a product, yes, you'll get traffic to it, but it's very limited. Whereas if you start creating content around a program that has a value ladder like Legendary Marketer, you just need to continue making content and building content and like pushing value, getting people into the door, and then letting them kind of thrive within that ecosystem. And then it's got the value ladder. So it really, the value, the lifetime value that you can get from one customer isn't just the one, $30 purchase of a software product. It's either like a monthly recurring revenue, or it's a launch pad to high ticket. So
affiliate programs that had the value ladder basically is for those who don't know and aren't familiar with the affiliate marketing model. You kind of get them into the ecosystem, and then, for instance, Legendary Marketer, a program with a great value ladder, they do all the selling on the back end for the higher ticket stuff on your behalf. That's how you, as you can kind of remove yourself and still earn those bigger commissions, right?
Right. You can just focus on the traffic, right? So, and your YouTube, my YouTube channel has become my number one source of traffic for me. As I continue to put out all different types of content, there are always ways to kind of loop back in the Legendary Marketer program, because it is such a great program for beginners like me. I say I regret not going through the Legendary Marketer program, because I actually heard about it last September, and I was just like, oh no, another program to try and get into and learn about and promote. It takes time. I'm not going to promote a program unless I use a lot of the stuff that I've been promoting on my channel. I actually have used. I've gone on and used these, clicking to, what do you call it? The
ClickFunnels software,
like the click, the pay per click and watching videos and stuff like that. So like last year, I was just trying to, earn a few dollars and start learning about some of these sites, and then so that I could make a video and promote, me making a few dollars off the site. But I realized that the biggest thing to do is to get into a program that provides a massive amount of value to people and has a low barrier to entry, but upfront provides a lot of value. And that's, I think, this year in 2020, that's been my realization. I joined Legendary Marketer in February, and it really shifted the whole affiliate marketing model. It shifted my thinking towards what's going to be more sustainable and more value to me and to my subscribers. So going forward, and there are ancillary things that you can promote off of that as well, right? There are softwares like ClickFunnels, which I've been using for over a year that I really like, and autoresponders and things of that sort. So,
and that helps you keep your messaging consistent and congruent. I think that's a big thing that a lot of beginners especially don't understand when they're dealing with like YouTube. Okay, so say if you get really, really good at paid ads and paid traffic, you can promote a bunch of different things because you can just get up and go. But that's obviously very, very hard, especially in the affiliate marketing model. And it takes a lot of money learning how to do it, a lot of mistakes. But if you go the content route, we got the thing, you got to kind of build the brand, you build the consistency, and really I think you treat the channel as a congruent message, because a confused buyer doesn't buy, and you only get paid when people buy. So you mentioned traffic, right? Like YouTube's become your traffic source. It's really helped to be consistent. Yes. Instead of going after like a launch jacking model, you pick a few programs that are proven to convert, that have the key metrics, and you kind of go all in on them. Now, traffic is a big deal for beginners because obviously, especially in the affiliate marketing model, you can just choose a program. Building the website these days with things like ClickFunnels, not too terribly difficult. It's the traffic that people struggle with. So when we're talking about traffic, you're talking about YouTube. You're talking about YouTube for traffic. It's not like you want to become YouTube famous. You want to use YouTube as a traffic source. So I want to ask you,
100%. You nailed it on the head right there.
yeah.
It is your warm traffic source.
Warm traffic source. So speak to us about what it means to get warm traffic from YouTube. Why you chose YouTube over all of the other platforms, and then if you could, the best thing about being on YouTube and the worst thing about being on YouTube.
Okay, so the reason why I chose YouTube is video. So video is consumed. It's like the number one, right? And it is. It's a way for people to know, like, and trust you through a video. Through a video. That's how people consume their content today. I'm not saying that people don't sit and read, but I feel like today, the way times are going, people are always faster, faster, faster. They want to consume fast as possible, and a lot you can put out. I mean, blogs are great. I'm not the best writer, but blogs are slow, and people can't put a face to a name, right? So YouTube is that medium between you and somebody looking for value. They're looking to enhance their lives. They're looking to learn something. And YouTube I saw as the prime place to warm your audience before they even make a purchase, right? So they may be watching you for a year until you provide them with some value or a video or a program where they're like, wow, I really need to get in this. And they'll purchase it through you because you've built that relationship with each other. Even though you don't really talk to each other on a daily basis, they still see your videos every week, and you build that reciprocity between each other that it allows for it allows for them to purchase through you with confidence, right? It's a trust thing.
So it's more of like building the relationship as opposed to yeah. And I think you really hit the nail on the head when you said, hey, they're seeing your face, even if you don't talk one-on-one, they still feel like they get to know you, which isn't going to be the case in the blogs, in the writing, in the written form, and that's super powerful. Let's talk about, like, what's the best part about being on YouTube, like, from day to day, and, like, what's the worst part about the whole thing?
The best part about being on YouTube is the constant flow of traffic. It's amazing.
It's a big help to the business, right?
Yeah. I mean, your main job is to drive traffic, right, to products that you're trying to promote, that you think can provide value to people, and that traffic is expensive when you try to go through different means. I've done Facebook ads, I've done some Instagram, and then I've been testing some Snapchat with some medium success. But all those things,
with paid traffic or organic?
Yeah, paid traffic. Okay. with Instagram. So, with Snapchat ads. But all those things, yes, they don't. They take just a few minutes just to set up. But man, I mean, if you don't know what you're doing, you can lose a lot of money really quickly testing, because there's what people don't tell you is that in Facebook ads, you have to acquire a lot of data. This is with any paid advertising. You have to acquire a lot of data before you know who to target. And those things cost money. They cost a lot of money, and it's a lot of money that people don't usually have. So a lot of people say, yeah, do this, paid ads this, paid ads that. You'll spend $1,000 in a couple of weeks, and all you'll have is data that you don't really know what to do with, right? So organic traffic through YouTube is the best. All you have to do is give up your own time, right? It takes time to learn how to do YouTube, how to film, how to set up the technical stuff, to do your research before you make a video. Everything is really your own time. And yes, you can place a value on your time, but the value sometimes you don't see for 3 or 6 months until a video starts getting traction, and you realize that the traffic is starting to come in at a regular clip, where you're getting thousands of views per month at some point, and you're like, wow, this is pretty impressive. And I'd like to speak about a particular video that I put out that has really doesn't have anything to do around affiliate marketing, even though I used that video as like an affiliate marketing test. I saw an opportunity last July with a platform that I had used for years that I never saw anywhere else on the internet or YouTube or anything. and it revolved around being able to watch sports live through like your web browser or your phone, that people could just make a small donation, like a $30 donation, and then they would have full access to like all the NFL games and everything. And they had a 10% commission off of if you promoted your link, which was only like $3, right? So it's not mind blowing, but it was something that changed affiliate marketing for me, because I made one video and that current video has like 25,000 views, and it's the most viewed video on my channel. Because
and this was one of the first videos that you ever did, or you did this video?
Like, it was like the third video that I had when I sat down and said, I'm going to start YouTubing. It was like the third video I sat down and I said, wow, here's a problem. People don't like paying $300 for DirecTV and people love football, right? And then I said, well, I've got this site that I think people could probably get some use out of, and I don't see this being promoted anywhere on YouTube. And third, I realized that I could target those keywords and be ranked #1 like instantly. So I created the video. It's terrible. Like, I did it in my kitchen. It's dark. It's like you can't even see my face. I made my video box in the corner like way too small, so you can't even really see me. I didn't have a microphone. I used a 9-year-old laptop that had a super old microphone, so the sound's really cruddy. And I made that video. I put it out, and because it was timely, it was like weeks before preseason, and people were on the internet looking for ways to look for NFL games. So the product was there, the value was there. People were looking to save money. They wanted to watch their football games. And if you look at my analytics, it's nuts, because one day I got it was like the first day of preseason, I got like 3,000 views on a video. And this was like my third video. And I was like, oh my God, this is nuts. And then I got like 200, 300 people to sign up. And then I got maybe 100, 150 people to actually purchase through my link and to purchase the package. Granted, it was only a couple $100, but I was like
$300-400, but still.
but it was one video that I took. Right. I took 30 minutes to kind of prep, and then 30 minutes to film. And then that was it. And I threw it up there with no expectations, like, thinking hopefully I rank for people that want to find a way to watch football games without paying for DirecTV's the ticket. And lo and behold, it worked. I mean, it's still the highest viewed video. It got me traction, and it told me that video is the way to go. It only takes one video to take off, and then you're off to the races. So, and
you really, what you had there is you had an excellent product that solved a specific problem.
Exactly.
And you found a gap in the market. So it was an opportunity there.
Yeah. And I saw it and I said, you know what? I got nothing to lose. This was my third video. I have a nicer laptop. I have a nicer camera. I have a nicer microphone now. Right. So along the way, you make upgrades to what you got going on. But I just did it with what I had. And I think that's really important for people to know is that you can get started with just, if you have an old cruddy laptop or you just want to use your phone, you can start making content today and uploading it today. And that's the powerful thing, is that it only takes one video.
And so you mentioned earlier in the call here today about becoming focused, right? And you talked about focusing your whole channel around 1 or 2 or 3 congruent offers that all fit. But you had, in the beginning, you had this initial burst with a program and a video and a traffic, an audience, I guess I should say, that is completely unrelated. But it sounds like, especially in the beginning, that is kind of that was a positive for you. So maybe you can kind of share that feeling, because that's the way I'm seeing it.
So it was a positive strictly for, I don't know if it was necessarily as a pushing of value to your subscribers, or you were trying to build momentum with subscribers. Honestly, I think it was more internal for me. It was a proofing of that I could actually put myself in front of it. And that's the biggest hurdle. I didn't put myself, if you look at my channel and you go to my description, you can see the particular channel that I have right now actually started I started the channel in 2009. So I had been consuming content for 10 years.
But didn't upload.
10 years. And anything. I didn't upload a single video.
Right.
10 years. So you have to understand that once you get a video and it actually gets views, it kind of proves it to like, okay, I can actually do this. So whereas this content was completely off, I think I got off that particular video, I think I got like 120 subscribers, right? Awesome. Should be a lot better for 25,000 views. However, it told me that I could put myself in front of the camera and that I could do this with some type of confidence. Am I still confident? I still get nervous before I start a video. Before I have a countdown, before it says 3, 2, 1, I still kind of get like that, okay, don't screw this up feeling. But then once you get into the video, then you just kind of like, deal with your ums, ahs. I still say a lot. That's one of my biggest things when I go and I edit my videos. I'm like, man, why do I suck here? Or why do I suck there? But you know what? I don't care. Do some minor edits and post the video, because in the end, people, all they really care about is the value. They kind of look past your inadequacies, your ums, ahs, your speech may be a little off, or maybe you have an accent. People don't really care as long as the value's there. So
yeah, the value. I mean, that's it. It's the relatability. It's the value. It's all that. It's really interesting. The common theme that keeps coming through, and really, anytime you speak to someone who's kind of in the same situation, it's the belief. Once you get the belief, you're there. I mean, you're essentially there, even if you don't see the numbers yet. Once you get the belief,
right.
Game over. You win. Now, one of I put a notice this morning, and you probably saw it in our Facebook group that we're in, the Affiliate Marketing Facebook group, which I'll link that in the description below for everyone if they want to join. I put it out that I was going to interview you today, and I asked if there are any questions, please let me know. I'll make sure and ask Jamar.
Great.
And the one question that came through right away, it was only posted for an hour or two, but one of the questions that came through was, how do you get that belief in the beginning when you're first getting started? Like, I know you had the NFL thing and that initial bump, but like after you dive into like your content, right? Like, how do you get that initial traction, or how do you stay motivated, or are there any tips or insights that you can share with some of your early successes that can help someone who's just getting started, who has 0 views or 0 subscribers? How do they get the ball rolling, so to speak? Do you have any value to share there for us?
Well, so for me, I stayed motivated through just setting small goals. And I think that, like right now, for somebody who hasn't started, right, your small goal should be post my first video. And it can be about whatever you want. It doesn't have to be about affiliate marketing. It can just be things that maybe you're interested in, or maybe you went on a trip somewhere and you have some photos that you can share. Or all it really is setting a super, super small goal that's like, have you ever heard the SMART acronym, right? Specific, measurable, attainable, set a super small goal. And once you achieve a small goal, you'll be surprised how fast you compound on your motivation to want to continue doing something, right? So if you can achieve one goal, you can go ahead and achieve a second goal, and then you can kind of make it a little more loftier and say, all right, well, this week I want to do 3 videos. And you'll do the prep, you'll film the videos, and then you'll be like, wow, if I can do 3 videos this week, why can't I do 3 videos every single week? So I think that the motivating factor for me is that I set really, really small goals. And when I achieve them, it propelled me forward to say, you know what, I can keep doing this. I can keep making videos and providing value. And it's funny because motivation comes from within, right? You don't have external sources saying, you can do this. Online marketing or building a business online is very internal. It's insular. It's very, nobody's really helping you. A lot of times people are doing this without even really, like, when I started this, I didn't tell my wife and family. Well, I did tell my wife, like, hey, I'm going to start an online business. But she wasn't like standing beside me saying, you can do this, start creating videos. She does now. But before she was like, she was just kind of off to the side, like, all right, you're talking crazy. I don't know what you're talking about being making videos on YouTube. In fact, she doesn't even really go on YouTube at all. So, but my kids love it. My 12-year-old son follows me, and he likes to watch the videos when I post them and stuff like that. But that type of motivation came along the way. So a lot of that motivation from around you doesn't really happen until like down the road. Whereas the motivation has to really come from within. Do you have a desire? Do you feel like you have value that you can help other people through your videos? And I knew that all the content that I had consumed over all this time, that I was like, you know what, I know I can help somebody, and I know video is the best way to do it. So my motivation is, you know what, I'm going to try and help as many people as I can through my videos. And
I
that's
think
really,
I think when you take a look at it through that service, right? That position of service, it's a
yeah,
lot easier to stay motivated because you're not worried like if you're going to screw up or stuff, because there's people out there who need your help. They need to see you. So it's kind of like,
yeah. And nobody's perfect, right? Like,
right.
I make mistakes every single day. When I film videos, I make mistakes. Nobody is perfect. And I think you have to realize that perfection is not really the aim here. The aim here is to connect with people, is to try and provide a service, is to try to provide value to benefit people's lives, and to help people get to the next level, whatever level that may be. So
That's exactly it. I love it. So a few minutes ago or so, you said that you still get nervous when you
oh
get
yeah,
ready to upload a
oh
video.
yeah,
And
100%
I
still.
think that's kind of a stumbling block for a lot of people is like, how do you go about like first getting the idea for the video? And then what do you do before you shoot the video to make that process not as easy, but as comfortable as possible and kind of keep things
Okay.
going? Because you're busy, right? Like
Oh
you don't want
yeah.
to rush things, but you want to keep things moving. You want to feel comfortable. Like what do you got for us there?
Okay, so 100% transparency here. The first like 2 videos I ever filmed, scrapped. I scrapped them. I actually didn't upload them. I deleted it because I didn't like the way I sounded. Like after you plug it into your video editing software and you start going through and trying to, from what little technical knowledge you have, you try to start editing your video together. And I scrapped it. I was like, you know what? This stinks. It sucks. Nobody's going to want to watch this garbage. And I said, you know what? I'll try again another day. So I actually did that twice. And then I realized that if I didn't start uploading, that I wasn't going to be able to get over my fear and my anxiety that kind of I felt like showed through the video, that with time I was going to be able to overcome my own personal inadequacies. And that anxiety, believe it or not, for me, it never really fully goes away. However, you're able to subdue it enough to where you can, your confidence overcomes your anxieties. It's basically what happened to me. The more I did it, the more confidence I build. The anxieties was still present, but it was so pushed down so much that I just stopped caring. And the nervousness, I actually kind of like enjoy videos now. I enjoy that anxiety beforehand because it's exciting. It's not like a nervous anxiety. It's like an excitement, like, yes, I'm gonna put another video together. I know people are gonna love this value. And speaking about videos, the way what helped me too is writing down kind of notes of how I wanted the video to go, and then in my tabs along my browser, just kind of having like the different the browsers open, so that as I was going through, so I didn't get tripped up too much, I would actually click along the browsers. And sometimes and people can go back and watch my videos. Sometimes I have Word docs, PDFs, or Google Docs or whatever. And I use the Google Docs in the beginning to outline what my video is going to be about. And it's not just for the viewer, it's for me, so that I can remember kind of the steps and the things that I want to hit as I go through. Now, people who are better YouTubers and speakers, they're able to, kind of internalize it, have everything in their head, how they want to talk. They're just better speakers and they're better on camera. They don't need a checklist. Sometimes I need a checklist, and in my videos, I'll go back to the checklist just to kind of like bring things full circle and realize that the video will continue without me kind of tripping up and getting lost and, me looking all crazy like. So for me, I think for organization in my and I recommend people to do this when they start, is to have a little checklist or put all your browsers open, the things you want to talk about, which
And this is
it'll
kind of
give you a stepping stone.
like
through
if you're doing like a kind of a screen share type video where you're teaching something or taking somebody through the process, you have different tabs open so you can kind of go from step to step.
I also have another tip too. You can actually get, if you just have your cell phone, you can get transcription apps there's like a whole 5 or 10 different transcription apps, and you can hold up your cell phone and you can actually Google Doc or Word Doc your video. Maybe it's a 5-minute video. And if you're nervous about tripping up while you're talking, you can get it to scroll on your screen while it's filming you. And I didn't realize this until like 3 or 4 months ago, because sometimes I like to film, like I'm starting to do a lot more cell phone, kind of like more personal cell phone in the car, right? Or in your backyard, or, you know, at the park or wherever, just doing quick videos to provide value, because you can provide a lot of value to people in 3 to 5 minutes, right? And you're not always going to have all your equipment with you and a ring light and a microphone. Well, your phone is just as good. And if you don't really know what to say, you could type something up and just hold your phone up and it could transcribe. And all you have to do is read what you wrote, and it's filming you at the same time. It's like it's, so I mean, people don't realize, like, it is literally that simple. Like, all you have to do is just put it on a document onto your phone and read from it, post it to YouTube, done.
So what would people Google if they wanted to find something like that? Like, you don't need to give me specifics, because I'm sure there's multiple softwares, but like, what would someone search? Would they go to the App Store and search, or?
Yeah, if they just go into the App Store and just write video transcription, like that's all they have to type in there, that keyword, and it'll pull up in the App Store. I have an iPhone, so whether it's Google or Android or whatever, you can, there's a whole bunch in there. If there's one that I could recommend, I can pull up one real quickly. If there's one that I could recommend, it's just called Teleprompter. Like that's the name of the app. And you can see, so you can see here, I've got a whole bunch of scripts, right?
Right.
And some of them are videos that I haven't made yet. I just, when I have spare time at night before I go to bed, I'll just write up a script. It only takes me about 10 minutes, right? So it's about 3 to 5 minutes worth of content. And it's content that I think can provide value to people that I'm going to use in the future. So if I'm ever in the park and the kids are playing, I want to film a quick video, boom, I open up that the transcription app. I put my phone up like this, and I can just read away. I don't have to think about it. I don't have, and that's a huge tip for people. I think it'll be of value to people that it is that simple, and the technology is there for people to be able to do this, and it will lower your anxiety if you're just reading off of something. So.
Yeah, lower your anxiety. Absolutely. Keep things concise, of course, and on track. And it really, I think it gives you as an opportunity as a busy family man to use what time you do have available to accomplish something. So, hey, I have got time to write down my thoughts, but I don't have time to shoot a video. Or, hey, I'm in the park, I got time to shoot a video, but I don't have time to think about what I want. You know, you kind of take
prioritize
the different pockets of time. Yeah.
Yeah. And that is something for me that I've dealt with since I started YouTubing, is prioritization between family and YouTube, because YouTube does, when you're starting out, it's a time suck. It takes a lot of time from you because you don't know how to do a lot of things with efficiency, right?
And I think that's an excellent point, because when you see those big YouTubers that give you their top 10 tips to get your first 1,000 subscribers, they're coming at it from a full-time perspective.
Yes.
Whereas when you're getting started, I had children when I was getting started, and I worked in a restaurant, so you don't have that luxury.
No, and I travel for work from time to time. I have a full-time job. I have 3 children that have school plus activities, right? Whether it be ballet, taekwondo, this, that, and the other. I don't have a lot of time to film videos, and consistency for me, I would get down on myself, because there was a time where I went over a month without filming. And don't ever get down on yourself if you don't stay on schedule, but just remember that you can always get back on track by just getting that next video uploaded. I got off track for a while because I had a lot of things going on in my personal life, professionally. I was traveling. I just didn't have access. And there are some videos that I actually brought my laptop with me. There are a couple of videos that I made while I was in a hotel room where I had less distractions, but I was still busy. So just find a consistency that works for you is really the biggest thing. Don't try to be that YouTuber is like, you know what? And there are guys out there who post a video every single day. It's maniacal. It's crazy. I personally think that it becomes a little monotonous, and it lowers the value slightly by putting out that much value every single day. I think people will value your videos more if you, and I'm not knocking on anybody who posts every day. If you post every day and you're still able to provide the value, awesome. That's, if you're able to do that within your work life schedule, then awesome. But just find a schedule that works for you, whether it's once a week, twice a week, once a month, even. There are some successful channels out there that only have like 40 videos and they only posted like once per month, but they have 100,000 subscribers. The reason for that is because every video that they put time into, there's tons and tons of nuggets and value, and people see that and they subscribe to it instantly. So it doesn't really matter I don't think it matters how often you post. It matters. What matters most is that you provide as much knowledge, as much value as possible. So
we're talking about earlier. It came up the epic tutorial thing, and
yeah,
and consistency, right? So if you look at your channel right now, which is Future Affiliate Pro, and of course we'll go ahead and link that down in the description below, so you can go check them out after this interview. But your second most popular video, which has like 5,000 views, I think, or something along those lines, is what I like to call as well the epic tutorials, right? It's about an hour and 45 minutes, and you show something step by step by step.
Yeah.
Can you kind of just talk about, like, there's two types of videos, the long tutorials that teach everything, and then there's the quick hitters, the 5 minutes in the park. Is one more important than the other? Can one help you grow fit? What do you think?
So I think playing a balance between the two is important, because not everybody has an hour and 45 minutes, right, to sit and watch a video. On the flip side of that particular video has 30% of my total watch time. So people are watching, right? So people are getting value out of the almost the hand holding, the baby steps. And I kind of stole this out of your handbook, because you had your Shopify tutorial, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's like 2 hours long.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, exactly. And people watched it.
And people watched it. Now, why were people, and I kind of really sat there and I'm like, well, why are people watching? Number one, are people going to watch a 2-hour video? Number one. Number two, can I provide enough value throughout the whole video to get people to sit through it? And number three is, you always, when you sit down, like, for me, I think, is this worth my time? Because this is going to take a lot of time to prep.
It's not going to take 2 hours.
No. I mean, the video was 2 hours, but it took me a day or two to kind of like put all the pieces. And these are all pieces that I had done myself without a camera, that I was setting up a campaign. So it was just me going backtracking, writing everything down. These are all the steps I took, and then putting it into video. I think people really like the step-by-step tutorials. I think people really love the epic, the people who are serious about wanting to know the steps of building a successful campaign, or what are the integral parts, the nitty-gritty to landing pages, to setting up your autoresponder, and then without having to go and float to different channels or different videos and having to search, all right, well, how do I connect my autoresponder to ClickFunnels? Okay, and maybe I'll have to jump to another video, because this other video I just watched, it was just like okay, you need to connect your autoresponder to your ClickFunnels. Okay, next step. Well, how do I do that? And I think that people like to just kind of get all that information in one nugget, so that they can just sit down and it will walk them through every single step. And I think that's why that's my second highest viewed video, but it's by far, it has over 30% of my total watch time, because another goal that I'm about to hit is the 1,000 subscriber, 4,000 watch time, so that you can monetize your channel. It was never a goal in the beginning, but when you start getting closer, it's like, wow, cool. The videos that I have put out and the future videos I put out, I can monetize them if I want. I don't have to, but if I want to, awesome. I'll throw it on there and make bootstrap my business, right? Maybe it'll pay for my ClickFunnels. It'll earn me the $100 a month, and it will bootstrap my business, and it will just be an added another source of revenue, right? Another source of income. So
I don't think that's what a lot of people don't. I think that's what a lot of people don't realize is when you're starting that YouTube channel, because I have multiple YouTube channels, and I have channels with more than 1,000 subscribers, but less than 4,000 hours of watch time. So they're not monetized. Right. That's actually the metric that is harder to get to, I think.
It is. Yeah. That watch time is really I thought the watch time was going to be easier earlier on than the subscribers at one point, because I was kind of, you look in your back office and your analytics and you start trying to like tracking, and you're like, you can kind of say, well, I should be able to hit X amount of subscribers or X amount of watch time by such and such time. I was able to jump up in subscribers just recently because I started doing like TikTok, like 15, 60-second videos, which we can talk on that briefly. I don't have a ton of TikTok followers. However, the amount of traffic that's come over, I only have less than 200 TikTok followers at the moment. I have like 20 or 30 videos. Nothing's gone viral or anything, but the amount of traffic that's starting to come over to my YouTube channel and subscribing and watching, my watch time has doubled and my subscribers per day has doubled just by adding in the TikTok. So if you want to talk about that, we can later on.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Let's talk about that since we're thinking about it. So really, I mean, you're a marketer. So
yes.
Part of marketing is not just marketing the products, but marketing your channel. So
yes.
You mentioned TikTok as the opportunity. Just talked about that. What other platforms you're using, like how you're getting traffic from TikTok over to YouTube? What's that look like? Because I think that can be a huge boost, especially for the people in the very beginning when you're at zero.
Yes. And had I known about this, when I started my channel in July, I would have been on TikTok from day one. No joke. And I would probably have 200,000 followers on TikTok because it's on fire right now. A lot of people are downloading it. I think last year there were, tens of millions of people downloaded TikTok in the United States alone. So there's a huge influx of traffic. And it's not just, last year, I thought it was just like for like preteen girls dancing on camera, this, that, and the other. But you really have to look at it from a marketer's perspective, as not only are 16-year-olds getting on this platform, but there are 20, 30, 40, 50, 60-year-olds that are getting onto this platform because it's entertainment. TikTok is entertainment for people, and it is like the gold rush. Imagine getting in with Facebook or Instagram or any of these social media channels in the initial first year or two and not getting in year 8, 9, or 10. Right, when it's oversaturated.
So let's talk about that really quickly, though. So, like you mentioned, that you're actually seeing results. You're seeing
sales.
People come from TikTok over to YouTube and turning into sales. So what is your approach on TikTok? Like, are you following trends? Are you staying on message, or what's that look like?
So right now what I'm doing is I'm following all of the people within my niche. So I'm in the make money online niche. Building a business. I'm starting to get into like how to grow your YouTube. Even though I'm not a big YouTuber, I still have grown to 1,000 subscribers. So I still have some type of value that I can provide to people in terms of things that I've done with my channel that's helped me grow to where I'm at now. I'm not big. I'm not small. I'm kind of just like that in between guy, but I have tips and tricks that I can give people. So I've been doing a lot of I follow a lot of the same type of hashtags as all of I call them the larger TikTokers now, who are in the marketing online niche for a couple months now. And there is the wave is set in. There is a lot more marketers on TikTok promoting their products now than there was 3 months ago. And guess what? 3 months from now, it'll be tenfold, because this is the gold rush. So I follow their hashtags. I follow mimic.
Hold on a second. I think I lost you there for a second, so I don't know if the recording is going to be good. So let's just kind of circle back just in case. You're talking about following hashtags and stuff like that.
Oh, right.
Then are you mimicking? Is that what we got going on? You're mimicking what you see when you follow these people, or what's going on here?
Yeah. So a little bit of both, right? So I'm watching kind of like, if you scroll through and you see what of their videos have gone viral, and you can literally just write down a couple notes, kind of their caption, because most of them are doing the hook story offer deal. The first thing you see is going to be maybe a caption. It's going to have the hook. It's going to want to make people watch the video or click on it or whatever. And then there will be a story saying, this is how I made, $300 or 6 figures or whatever it may be. And then there's an offer on the very last portion. They either do one of two things. They either say, go visit my YouTube channel, where I can provide you with more value, more tips, this, that, and the other. Or they say, because you have to have more than 1,000 followers to have a clickable link in your bio now. Mm-hmm. So people are saying, hey, if you want to learn how I make a passive income or I make money online, click this link. And they literally are able to sandwich, maybe a 10 to 15 minute YouTube video into 60 seconds, right? Fast, fast, fast. And people are clicking on that link. And the next thing you know, they're entering their email address on your landing page. You're capturing their email. They're going and checking out your offer. And that is so powerful. I can't even, like, to make a 60-second video and have somebody purchase a product through you within like less than a couple minutes,
right,
it's like a marketer's dream, right?
Right.
So I started posting. Right now I'm trying to do 3 videos per day.
And so
15 to 60-second videos per day, using the same hashtags a lot of the other marketers are using a lot of the kind of like the same strategies of saying hook, story, offer, so that's kind of what I'm doing.
You're following trends, but only in your niche. You're staying focused. Then is really the key.
And a big thing to do too is use trending music, okay. and trending, because in TikTok you can not only use music, but you can use other people's like their voice recordings.
You can use their sound.
Yeah, you can use their sound. And if it's like a trending sound, and you can do that just by going into the trending section and just taking either the music or the trending person's voice or whatever, and just making your own video off of that, lip syncing to it, and you can gain traction. I mean, there was one video that it got 1,000 views in one day, right? And as a new YouTuber, right, how long does it take to get 1,000 views to your video in one day? It's very, very hard. Most people only get like 5 or 10 views. They don't have a lot of traction. TikTok provides that ability for your video to go viral in an instant, just off of a whim. It could just be a 15-second video, and you could get 10,000 views to your link. I mean, if you have a link, your clickable link in the bio.
At the very least, you can get 10,000 views to your YouTube channel or whatever. Yeah. And so at the very least, it's worth throwing them up there. I think
it's worth the bottom line there. The juice is worth the squeeze right now, in my opinion. That's why I'm making 3 videos per day.
Is TikTok that you see something will be a standalone? You think YouTube's always going to be an important aspect of the business? I mean,
YouTube is number one.
YouTube is number one.
YouTube is number one. And the reason for that is that all these other social media platforms are kind of like a one and done. I have an Instagram page, but I don't post that often on there, except for you can take your TikTok videos and take them from your phone and place them in your Instagram stories. So you can kind of continually repurpose content like that. Which I've started doing, which I think helps to kind of bridge the gap between your different audiences, right? You're going to have different audiences on different platforms, but YouTube is number one. And the reason for that is because when you create searchable content that's evergreen, you'll continually get traffic to your videos literally forever. In my opinion, you can get traffic for years. And on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, right? And Facebook, you can make a post, and if it starts getting a lot of engagement, it'll get kind of pushed to different groups of people, and YouTube's algorithm will start pushing. But after a certain while, right, after a couple days, it just kind of gets less. Usually, I think I see less than a week, and you no longer see those posts that either you engaged with or you know what I'm saying, Brian. Like Facebook it's. As long as, if you're not creating, if you're not posting value within, I'm using Facebook as an example, but like if you're not constantly pushing value and text, then after like a week, people no longer can find your value, right? So YouTube is that perfect. If you create it, it stays up there forever. People can find it if they're searching for it. If they want to find a step-by-step video on how to promote ClickBank products with Content Samurai, a year from now, they're going to find my video, hopefully ranking somewhere on the first page there, and they're going to like my thumbnail. So my click-through rate on that is actually really good. It's like 9%. And people will click on it, and they'll watch my video. A year from now, you can't get that with any other social media platform. You can't get that on Snapchat, these instant platforms. You can't get it on TikTok. So your videos the only way your videos on TikTok will continue getting views is that one person will click on your most recent video, and then they'll check out your bio, and then they'll start scrolling through all of your different videos, right? So
With
the
TikToks and Facebooks and stuff, you're kind of always chasing,
yes,
whereas with
yeah.
YouTube, you're kind of attracting, and one's a lot better for the long-term growth and the increased value of the
Yeah.
business. And that,
YouTube is more, I feel is more sustainable in keeping warm traffic around. Whereas your other platforms may be a little more flightier, especially like Snapchat or TikTok, or they may watch one video and then poof, they're gone forever, right? Whereas if somebody watches something you give a value on YouTube and they like and they use your particular value, or they purchase a product through you, they're going to be a subscriber, hopefully for life, right? I mean,
right.
that's
Yep. It's
ultimately
a
you want to,
long-term value, long-term play. So we're
yeah.
about at the hour that I got you to promise me. So I want to be respectful of your time. One question I do want to ask, because this always comes up whenever I'm speaking with someone who's just getting started in YouTube, what do you use, or what did you use in the beginning, if it's changed, to actually edit your videos? Do you have a certain software you use, or?
Yeah, so I started out using Movavi. I don't know if you've heard of Movavi. There's been other softwares that I've kind of wanted to transition to, like Premiere Pro and like some of these other more higher end. But I used Movavi. I think it was like $40. And honestly, since I'm used to the simple UI, the simple interface, it's not as intimidating. It was simple to learn. That's what I went with. So that's what I've been doing my videos with now. Super simple.
And you don't need to like add a bunch of effects or crazy stuff or
No,
transition. It's like, keep it simple, right?
it's yeah, they have very basic transitions, very basic editing, very basic everything, honestly. And that's why I continue to use it today, is because it's very simplistic. It doesn't, there are some other softwares that, I mean, you can make movies out of, right?
Right. And
And
it's just not
I don't need to
necessary.
make movies. I just need to get my videos posted. So
Right. Well, so one of the coolest things that I think, like in like success, like if you're going to be a digital marketer, one thing I always say is, like, don't just listen to the gurus or what have you, or the experts. Like, pay attention to what they're doing. So that's
yeah,
why I
that's a
think,
great
like,
point.
anyone should come over, and I mentioned we'll link your channel down in the description below. They should come over. They should digest your content and see what you're doing, because you went from 0 to 1,000. You hit 1,000, your first 1,000 in 2020. It's relevant. This is not
Yeah.
what worked in 2014. This is what works right now. Kind of the final thought, like, to kind of maybe any last tips or tricks that you might have stored that you can share. Like, when someone comes over to check out your channel and digest your content and kind of model your success and what you've been doing, what are they going to see? Like, what are some of the things that they're going to see if they really look between the lines? Anything kind of jump out at you, or any like philosophies that you have or what have you?
So my main so what I have like a mission statement. You know how like businesses usually have like a mission statement. So I like to say that I want to create actionable content and a warm community so that people can find you know time, location, and financial freedom for themselves. Right. That's kind of like my short, condensed down. I hopefully I am providing actionable content, value for people, so that when they walk away from my video, or when they're, they watch a video, they can actually step by step, or they can actually have the confidence to be able to do things on their own. So my biggest thing for my channel, when they come to my channel, hopefully people are getting actionable content, things that they can watch and then take action on.
That's excellent. And I think when that happens, when they take that action, when there's that movement, you teach somebody something, and then they're going to you're kind of building that bond more so than just like giving an opinion or what have you. So
yeah, you made a good point. Early on, I here's a tip. We consume a lot of content. I consume way less content than I did a year ago, but don't, like you said, don't do what they're telling you to do. Like follow, like read behind the lines, right? So a lot of people, so what's happening is kind of, and this is a term in the ClickFunnels, like funnel hack people, kind of see what their angles, like people always has angles. They provide the value up front, but they're always, a lot of people are promoting the same products because those products have a lot of value to them. So just kind of read between the lines in terms of like, don't do what they're telling you to do, kind of follow their model, follow what they are actually doing, the type of value that they're putting out, and then how they're making a correlation to the products that they're promoting. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Don't do
absolutely.
what because they're telling you to do all these different things every videos, but behind the scenes, what they're really doing is really all the same. So do what they're doing, not what they're actually saying they're telling you to do within the video. I don't know if that makes sense.
Right. I agree. And focus on how they got to where they are from where they were, right? Like, it's probably not the best idea for someone who's brand new to go out and shoot a bunch of cell phone videos in the park. Maybe they should more focus on those epic tutorials, providing massive value type thing, and building that relationship, and then kind of expanding out once you get that initial traction. Focus on seeding your YouTube channel. TikTok is hot right now. Go out there and bring those people into your channel. Jamar, thank you so much. Of course, if there's anything you want to add, feel free, but thank you so much for spending the time with us.
Quickly. So I'm obviously, I'm a military member, and if anybody wants to follow my channel, I'm going to continue providing as much value and actionable content as possible. As an active duty member, I want to help prior service and active duty who are currently entrepreneurs, are either starting side hustles, or they want to create their own businesses as they transition out of the military. I want to be a resource to them in terms of teaching ways that I've learned about traffic and some automation, whether it be email automation, funnels. I think I'm starting to get to learn a lot about funnels. I got this book, I promote this book. This guy is a genius. I'm waiting for the traffic funnels or the traffic secrets book to come in, because I'm really interested in learning a lot more about traffic strategies. I've learned a lot about traffic as a marketer is your number one thing, right? You should always be, your number one thing is to push traffic. So for military members out there who are entrepreneurs, they can reach out to me and I can share. I don't know. I don't have all the answers, but I think over the last year, I've really learned a lot about how to generate traffic. And I think I could probably be of assistance to them in one way or another in helping them grow either their online presence or their own businesses, in helping them get off the ground. So,
and that's a great point and tremendous value. But the point is, if you don't know what to do, start with affiliate marketing, right? You don't have to be affiliate marketing forever. Maybe you want to. I do. I love it. But it really, the concepts, once you learn the concepts, they're all kind of the same, right?
They're all the same. Yeah. It's really about content, and it's really about traffic. If you can hone in on how to get targeted traffic, then it's not just affiliate marketing. I mean, it could be for other types of physical products. It spans the whole genre, every genre. It really isn't just it's not just a one thing. It's not just affiliate marketing. It's once you learn the key principles of marketing, then everything else kind of falls in line.
Yeah. And they say, one of my favorite sayings is, you're not in the business you're in the business of marketing the business that you're in. So it's a great skill to learn. And affiliate marketing really allows you to just focus on the marketing. You don't have to worry about the fulfillment and customer service and, writing the copy for the video sales. You just focus on the marketing. And once you get that, everything else kind of works. Well, Jamar, thanks again so much. I certainly appreciate it. Make sure you go check out his channel. We'll link it down below. And
thanks for having me on, Brian. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thanks a lot. Thanks for coming, and maybe we'll have you on again when you hit 10,000 subscribers, huh?
Oh yeah, I'd love it. Yeah, I'm going to get there eventually.
The first 1,000 are the toughest. You'll be there before you know it, I bet. Give it another year or so, and I bet you'll be well beyond that. So awesome stuff.
It's one of my next goals.
Cool. Thank you so much.